Welcome to the Clean Right channel. If you're considering buying a battery operated sprayer, I have a Flexi Pro and I really like it a lot. And here are some of the things I did to my unit to help make it more user friendly. First of all, I had a problem all the time when I was pulling on the solution line that it kept pulling really hard on this grommet and it would pull the grommet out of the plastic. And I didn't like that the hose was rubbing on the injection molded body. Didn't want it to fray. Have a problem when I was on the job site. So take the discharge line, wrap it around the handle a couple times, problem solved. So another troublesome feature was where the gun stores on the Flexi Pro Sprayer. So when you're using it and you go to put it away, what would happen is this entire shaft is full of cleaning solution. And when you put it back inside to the sprayer, it slowly drips and drips and drips. And it would actually fill up to the same height as the axle. And when I would be leaving a job, I'd tip it forward and I'd be going down the hallway and spilling cleaning solution all over in the hallway. Not good. Up on the bench now, get a little better view for everyone. As you can see, I took a simple drill bit and drilled a few holes. There's a couple down there, there's a couple in the middle, and there's a few up here. What this does is it doesn't allow any of the cleaning solution to collect in the bottom of the blow molded tank housing. Let's talk about charging for a minute. You're going to be on a job site and your battery's going to be dying and you're going to not have your charger with you. Did you know that using your battery below a certain level is bad for your battery? It says so right on the battery. Do not use below 10.5 volts under load. So how do you know what voltage you're at? So after buying a new battery and installing it, I thought there had to be a better way, which is why you see the plug adapter has no wire on it anymore. I'm going to open up the bottom of the unit and show you a customization I did to my unit that made it much more user-friendly. And if you choose to do this, hope you do it safely. And by all means, I am not recommending you do this to your unit. This is just what I did to mine, and I like it, and I thought I would share it. So I'm going to pause the video, take it apart, show you what I did. So just remove these 6 screws with an Allen key, and the bottom of your unit will come apart kind of like that. And in the back there, I think you can barely make it out. It's kind of dark and I don't have my light in the right spot, but you can kind of make out the outline of the battery. And there is the 12 volt flow jet pump. And then you can see the modification I made is that square box down there is the actual charger that they sell with the Flexi Pro Sprayer. Couple of dabs of silicone and you can just fasten it in place. And if you follow the wire, I ended up tying them into the same charging leads from the external plug. And I didn't chop the wires, I just bared off some of the insulation and soldered it to it and then wrapped some tape on there so nothing would short out. And the only thing that I really didn't like about the customizing that I did to the unit was the risk of it shorting out. So the extension cord is running through the aluminum plate right here. And the danger is that it could short out on the metal. So I'm actually taking it apart today to make an improvement. I came up with a new thought of how to protect that even better. And I'm going to pause the video again and make that improvement. So I've got everything back together now and added a couple zip ties, as you can see, to help keep the armor cable tight. I didn't want it wiggling around up here. And something I didn't talk about yet is you want to know the status of your battery when it's charged, and when you mount it down there inside the bottom of the base plate, you kind of lose the ability to see what the status is of the LED, whether it's charging red or fully charged green. So I ended up drilling a small hole exactly where the LED is, and kind of chamfered the edges a little bit there, so it's looks nice, and you can still see the status of the LED. When it's charging, of course, it's red, and I'll flick it on for a second. It should go red, and it'll now put a little bit of charge in the battery. In a few minutes it'll go green. So I like that my modification did not take away the ability to see the LED. This is something I really wish they would put in from factory, to tell you the truth. They could probably do a little nicer job, but this modification is something that's simple if you're a little bit handy. Do it at your own risk. I said that before. This is something I did to my machine just to make it more functional, more user-friendly for me. So I highly recommend you get one of these. I like them. The jugs are great. It's a good size. But what you'll find is it's kind of tedious undoing that big plastic fitting, getting a new jug in and out, taking it in and out all the time. It kind of, after you do this about 10 or 1500 times a day, it gets a little bit monotonous. So what I went and did is I went and ahead and customized a jug, and I ended up putting an auxiliary filler neck, let's call it that. So it doesn't really change the original design. You still put the suction tube in that spot, and you can do up your jug. But what it allows you to do is fill on the go. So I still use these jugs to go get my cleaning solution, and as I'm spraying and I need more cleaning solution in my Flexi Pro, I just dump it in here. It's fast. It's because it's oversized, it doesn't slow down. You don't have to wait for it. You can pretty much just dump as fast as it'll come out. It goes in, and a real time saver. I really like that. It saves my back from bending down so much. Huge improvement. Highly recommend you do it. It's not a big commitment of time or resources. You're just going to end up cutting a hole in one of the jugs, and you can insert a funnel or anything that you can find in your local hardware store. This actually is called a drain spout extender, and found it at the local hardware store. Cut it in. Not the best silicone job, as you can see, but it doesn't really need to be watertight. It just needs to hold it in there. And I don't know if you can see down in there, but I took my hole saw and drilled a bunch of holes down in the bottom to let the cleaning solution come out even faster and get into the jug space. And I find that works really well. You're able to pour it in as fast as it can come out of the jug into this, let's call it a reservoir, that I made for the Flexi Pro. Really cool.